Good morning and welcome to the Daily Wrap from Pepperstone.com. It's the 11th of July and I'm Darren Sinden. Let's take a look at some of the overnight changes, any price moves we need to be aware of on the world's exchanges. I just really wanted to focus on one item today, and that is this dollar rand, US dollar South African rand, closed in New York last night at 13.4841. That was down by about 0.7% as far as the rand was concerned, down around 2.1% on the week. Why has this caught my eye? Well, dollar rand is most people's idea of a financial stress indicator for the world's emerging markets, and so the weaker the rand goes, the more concern there is over emerging markets, shall we say. Let's just take a look at the chart and how that might manifest itself. The blue line here is the dollar rand exchange rate. You can see that the rand has been giving ground, as we just noted. The green line is the MSCI Emerging Market Equity Index. That's been topping out here recently. It hasn't broken down completely yet, but you can see that it's started to point lower. The question is then, will this gap be narrowed? Will the rand continue to weaken, and will emerging market equities continue to come under pressure? Obviously, they're not helped by the idea of rising interest rates in the West, so that's a question to consider. Okay, let's take a look at what's on the calendar for today, any events that may move the market. It's a mixed bag as far as the calendar is concerned today. No high impact events, but we have had some data out of Australia, home loans and business confidence. We've also just had numbers around machine tool orders for June in Japan. We've got industrial outputs from Italy to come around 8 o'clock GMT that's 9 o'clock London time. We've got two people speaking from the MPC later this morning in the UK at 10 and 11 respectively GMT. That's Andy Haldane. He was hawkish last time he spoke, and Mr. Broadbent is also going to speak at 11 AM GMT. And then in the States this afternoon, we have Redbook data, JOLTS job openings and wholesale inventories for May. And then to end the day, FOMC member Brainard will be speaking around 16:30 GMT, and then Neil Kashkari will be speaking at around 17:20 GMT as well. So plenty to get your teeth into there. Okay, let's take a look at the breaking news that's caught my eye overnight. Japan's machine orders for June, the data surprises to the upside. We'll have a look at that in just a second, but much needed improvement in that number. Surprisingly, perhaps, Vietnam leads the Asian foreign direct investment tables. That's money coming into the country from external sources. It attracted a very impressive $37 billion US, beating both India and China as it did so. As we noted, Australia's home loans data was out earlier. May home loans data undershot expectations, coming in at plus 1% versus a forecast of plus 1.5%. Longer term data showed a slowing pace of contraction though, so still slowing, but slowing more slowly, if I can put it like that, than it was a month ago. And Snap, the owner of Snapchat in the US, traded below its $17 IPO price yesterday. I think that's quite important because Snap has become something of a poster boy for the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq IPO business as a whole. Okay, so a question that we'll ask ourselves here in this chart is Japan's economic engine still misfiring? Here's the machinery orders data. You can see there's a sharp downtrend line, or a sharply sloping downtrend line from January last year, but the June data coming in at plus 3.6%, I believe, a much better number than had been anticipated, and it does seem to have broken the downtrend. Let's see if that can continue as we go forward. Right, one thing for you to take away into the trading day and to think about thereafter, and we stay with Japan. Japan's PM Shinzo Abe's popularity ratings have fallen to 36%, whilst 52% of those surveys said that they opposed his administration. Mr. Abe has cut short a European tour to return home with a promise of a cabinet reshuffle. You can see how his approval ratings have plummeted. There's the key, his ratings falling, and the people that disapprove of his cabinet and his policies rising sharply. Thank you for your time. Please take a look at the risk warning and disclaimer here. Trading CFDs and Forex and leverage is a risky business. If you're unsure of any of the risks involved, please contact your Pepperstone executive.